Good morning, and welcome to another round of I Can't Wait for Jesus to Come Back. Okay, tonight, men's Bible study. Hopefully, I can get a few people there that might be going to the beach this weekend, so attendance doesn't look so vacant on Sunday. Anyway, there's the youth group thing. Oh, and that reminds me. Jeff is not well, okay? And anybody that knows where he's at, I've got Jeff and Luann's home phone, I think, but I don't have an accurate cell phone for Jeff. So I'm having trouble trying to reach them to get a hold of him, to check on him. So if anybody has Jeff Scott's phone number and my phone number, please get a hold of Jeff and have him call me or text me Jeff's cell phone number so that I can get a hold of him, so I can check on him. I'd kind of like to see how he's doing and have a prayer with him. All right. So anyway, that's that. Youth in the park this week. And then the area youth group is going on the 24th to do a farewell for Pastor Reister. And that would be a good time for our youth to meet kids from other churches in the area, because they want to kind of grow that collective thing, which would make it easier on our youth group. Okay. So, I am not able to go this Sunday, but I will be at the thing on the 24th. So we'll just have to see about that one. Okay. This would be a good week to invite friends to church, because there's a ton of people out, so there's plenty of pew space. Anyway, Proverbs 19 and 20, some very interesting proverbs in here about children and parents and commitment to God and laziness and following God's will. I mean, these two chapters are pretty potent. So read through. Now, like I said, I like using the New Living Translation or the Message for Proverbs as a translation, because it's put in common everyday language. All right. So 2 Corinthians 3 is Paul basically telling them, I don't need a letter of reference from you. See, this is a congregation that was kind of full of themselves and thought that they knew best. So the pastor Apollos that they just adored basically was like, dudes, I don't have anything to do with you. We never hear of Apollos going back there. As a matter of fact, it seems like historically he avoided Corinth, mainly because they were so focused on him instead of what he was saying. Then there's poor Timothy, okay, who just, oh my gosh. Paul sends him to toughen him up, I think, because he just got abused based on what we know. And Paul's like, you people are not, you are special because of what Jesus Christ has done for you and nothing else. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you. So chapter 3 is, he's getting ready. This isn't even the follow through. This is just the batter up. Okay. 2 Corinthians, parts of it are pretty brutal. So buckle your seatbelts. Okay. Anyway, that's that. Let's pray. Father, gratefully, you do not deal with me according to my sins, for your love never quits. However, I am afraid to stop long enough to look deep within me and examine the sin that I carry. Give me today a deeper trust in you and a relaxed confidence to face my own darkness. People that are not willing to examine themselves are not doing themselves a favor. How do I put this politely? I can't, so I'm just going to say it. If you don't acknowledge your sin before God, he will rub your nose in it. All right. Self-examination of, is there any unconfessed sin that I need to confess? Is there something that's a habitual sin that I need to continue to ask for direction and freedom from? Is there something that I'm doing that is giving offense? I need to change that. Okay. And I can't do it on my own. Why? Because it's part of my darkness. All right. And when you try to deal with it, it gets darker instead of lighter. This is something that this is why you can't work your own salvation. All right. You are incapable of making an intellectual, well, you can make an intellectual decision, I suppose, but to make a thoroughly competent decision for God on all levels, you can't do it, because your sinful nature is going to shy away from that. Well, there goes all our fun. I'm going to change. I can remember being a whole lot younger, like maybe 50 years ago, and going, well, what if I let, obviously I was saved. Okay. So now I'm conscious of the sanctification process. And I was concerned that God would change me beyond recognizing. Boy, was that immature. So what did I do? I made a point to hang on to unhealthy behaviors and activities. Okay. And it bit me hard. So, like I keep saying, y'all are getting the new and improved model. I'm serious. Okay. What does that tell you? We're always in a perpetual state of growth. Okay. We're never going to fully arrive this side of heaven. So we need to, it's always good. I don't know, need, well, we do, but that smacks of gotta and should, because looking at your darkness and asking God to purge it, that's a decision. And sometimes we like our darkness, don't we? It's cozy and familiar. God's kind of a wild card, and if you truly understand God, he's not predictable. He's wild and very untamable. And people don't like that, because part of original sin is to be a control freak. Okay, that's a manifestation of original sin. I am going to control my own destiny. Okay, why? Because we think that's safe. All right, but part of the God experience that I have to keep reminding myself is I need to get on the back of the Harley, metaphorically speaking, and let God tear off down the highway. All right. This Jesus is my co-pilot garbage is just that. Give him the wheel. That old country song, Jesus Take the Wheel. Yeah, really. Okay. Psalm 103:13. As a father has compassion for his children, so the Lord has compassion for those who fear him. Fear here not being I'm terrified of you, but a healthy respect for the power of God that is so beyond us. I mean, really, really, really beyond us. Coming to terms with the fact that God is not what we does not have the boundaries that we impose. And we all do it. We all want a manageable God. And that God is too small to do anything for us. Okay. So we need to kind of be respectful and a little wary, probably wouldn't hurt, I guess, to the wild awesomeness of God. And that, God is our Father is a hero God. All right. Think of when you were a kid. Get heroes, right? And heroines. I need to equal time, right? Why do you think Superman was so popular? And then the Marvel characters, okay, the DC characters and the Marvel characters. This was a big, strong, tough man with big muscles that couldn't hurt, had a kryptonite, all right, but for the most part, defeated all of his enemies, all right, and was a protector and a caretaker and was an overall nice person. Okay, Batman's a little weird, but okay, I mean, anybody that associates with bats, I guess, would be a little batty, all right, but that's sometimes we need rescuing, all right, and we need that big, strong, wild, heroic God to step in and, as they say in the Canterbury Tales, cleave my enemies. Okay. I love that word, cleave. It's where we get cleaver from. That means to chop it up into little bits. Rent asunder is another good one. That's kind of like cut in half. All right. All right. Matthew 7:11. If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? This is a trust issue. Okay. I had some pretty good Christmases. I had some weird ones too. Okay. I remember in third grade, we were allowed to bring one Christmas gift into school to play with during recess because there were a lot of snow days and we were indoors. I didn't have anything to bring. I didn't get a toy. I got clothes and basically clothes. But I didn't bring anything that was appropriate to bring into school. Okay. And the teacher asked me, didn't you get, nope. She kind of looked at me funny. I think the insight there as to what was pretty apparent. All right. I don't know if something was said or not because the next year I got toys. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, what's the point here? Oh, I guess I should explain my mother's philosophy. And she explained this to me later on when I could understand it. Still don't understand it, but okay. She'd go, write out your Christmas list. Okay. I'd turn it into her. And I never got anything on that list. I could never figure out why. All right. And as I was older, still not, fully grown up, but older, something came up about that. And I go, what's the use of giving you a list? You're never going to buy what's on it. And she goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I don't. And I go, oh, okay. And she goes, well, gifts are supposed to be surprises. So I never buy a gift that you actually want. Whew, okay. So you can imagine my surprise. This is a good after story. So part B is I get married and Christmas is coming. And my mother-in-law asked me, what do you want for Christmas? So with my background, I hem and haw around and I don't give her a list. And she goes to Denise and says, I want to know what to get Keith. Just ask him why he won't give me a list, And so I explained to Denise, how my mother operates. And she sat there and looked at me. That's crazy. Well, yes, it is. Now you're starting to see the full picture. She goes, well, let's run an experiment. You give my mother a list and watch what happens. All right. So I wrote down a couple things and I got them. It was so bizarre. Who knew? But it was funny to open presents then at both houses, because I was still at seminary. And, it was just at my mother-in-law's house. It was just matter of fact, you open your presents and went, wow, that's really cool. That's exactly what I wanted. Thanks. We go over to my parents' house and, we start opening things. And Denise is looking at me like, what the heck are they giving you? It's like, are you somebody off the street that they don't know? And Denise is kind of looking at me like, what the heck's going on here? And my mother starts in and she's so enthusiastic. Well, there's a story behind this and I got this because, and I got that because, and Denise just sat there and looked at her. And on the way back to her parents' house, because their house is bigger and we stayed with them, she goes, your mother doesn't have any clue about you, does she? And I went, nah, not really. So anyway, what's the point here? Good parents try to give good gifts. Even my mother in her own way was trying to give me what she thought was a good gift. All right. In her mind. Okay. Didn't always make sense, but so I'm going to use my mother-in-law as an example. She went out of her way to find exactly what we wanted. And if she couldn't find that, she got something similar, but even better, and then apologized. This is crazy, right? All right. So if you've got a parent or a loved one that's doing that, think of God as being even more so that way. And, sometimes we have to wait for it, but his plan always trumps our plan because we have a limited sensory resources, whatever. We're not seeing the full picture. And this is a trust issue. Do I trust God to do his absolute best for me? And if we're going to try to massage and manipulate what's going on around us, we're telling everybody by our actions and statements that we don't. So it's powerful witness one way or the other. Okay. So, and you have to ask. And it doesn't hurt to say please and thank you either, right? All right, here we go. I am not in control. I am not in a hurry. I walk in faith and hope. I greet everyone with peace. I bring back only what God gives me. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Hi, Miss Linda. Hope you're feeling better. And Jeff, if you're listening, I hope you're feeling a little better, and I hope the rest of the family stays healthy. Bye.